sometimes I also would like to tell women to fill yourselves first so that you can overflow from the fill, because you can't really give from an empty well.
So true. You can't
and
give
actually,
what you don't have.
Communities pack up when a well is dry and they go.
And they go.
Yes. So if you're not full, then there's no way that others are coming to eat off your fruit.
Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's the Sunday sermon, but today we're discussing our signature event called Family Talk, which is themed around women leading teams. But it also has a scripture because Jacob's well is, the reference of Jacob's well is found in John 4 from verse 4 up to 13. And that's our reference point for which we created the ministry of Jacob's Well. And like you said, it's a well, it's a community. It's a place where people come to drink from and they are refreshed from. But I remember when I was starting, the whole concept of Jacob's Well was because there was exposure, sort of. Because the Samaritan woman, that's when Jesus told her about herself. There was prophecy.
Yeah.
Better than exposure, prophecy. But she had different husbands, and even the husband she had, he said it wasn't her husband. It was a place of real change also because that conversation, that prophetic conversation, because she said, I perceive you to be a prophet, opened up the saving of many people, because that city had been closed up to Jesus. But this woman opened it up to him, and I that's what I love about Christ as well. Such an oxymoron,
yes.
You know? I was thinking when the woman went back to say, I found a man, everybody was like, yeah, right. I found
Number
a man.
7.
Number 7 man, we're giving her that eye of, which man, but that's the woman he used to go and to witness to the entire city and to open it up. So I love that. And then the fact that he also told her, when you drink this water, you'll not thirst again.
Yeah.
I sense that people who come to Jacob's Well, they really enjoy the event, the Family Talk event, and they keep coming because it's like a well. So it's feeding you, and it's, sometimes we're hungry and we're thirsty for something, and there's a quenching because you realize I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who's going through this. Other women also are going through this. Other men are going through this. Other families are going through this. The entire marketplace is probably going through this. So I just need to stick it out and maybe even gather a strategy. I remember one Jacob's Well where a lady told me that she got a strategy of what to do for the next step. So I love that. So I love that comparison to Jacob's Well. And I also love that it was the place where Jews and Samaritans were not supposed to talk, but here they were having a conversation. And it was a bit out of place because even when the disciples came back, they were like, why is this guy, Jesus, now talking to the Samaritan woman? Because we know we don't engage. So there's so much wealth and that comes from Jacob's Well that I'm so encouraged by that. And I remember the key part of starting Jacob's Well was to align families back to God's original order, intent, and purpose, because God has an order, God has an intent, God has a purpose. And I even like the fact that he used the women who had 5 husbands. Very important, Don't choose the one who's here, got it all together and moving forward, because then it allows us to not have it together, but know that we can have a conversation or engage with the master, or come and engage with a meeting like this and get results and get answers for the things that have been weighing us down, or get a strategy in a new way. What are your thoughts around that, Wangu?
For me, one of the aha moments that I got from just even reading that passage was Jesus was waiting for her. Yeah. So Jesus is waiting for us.
That's so powerful.
It doesn't matter, because he was waiting for her when she was leaving her 6th husband to come to the well. Like, he was already knowing, like, okay, so she's coming at this time. So I feel like in our society, there's always an expectation of a well put togetherness,
Yes.
We always have to be put together. And as much as we're saying the theme is like lace and pearls, I also believe that we come as dirty as you can be, because we're here to grow and we're here to learn from each other. That was my big aha moment, that Jesus was actually waiting for her.
That's very powerful. I've never seen it that way. But he sat at the well.
Yeah.
And you said
he sent the guys away. Yeah, to get food.
Because he knew she was coming.
Yeah.
And they would even be a hindrance to their conversation. And it's funny because it says that he's as tired as he was, he sat at the well. But the well is the place of refreshing. You'd think that's where he would sit. but there was something about that. There's something more there about being as tired as he was. He sat, he waited, and he ministered to her, and he knew she was going to come.
Yeah.
That's
and
very
she did
powerful.
get the water, and because he filled her well, she was able to overflow into other people.
That is so powerful.
Yeah. And one of the things I remember just thinking, our society always tells women that we have to give, and we have to give of ourselves, and we have to be selfless. But sometimes I also would like to tell women to fill yourselves first so that you can overflow from the fill, because you can't really give from an empty
That is
well.
so true. You can't give up what you don't have.
Communities pack up when a well is dry, and they go.
And they go.
Yes. So if you're not full, then there's no way that others are coming to eat off your fruit. Yeah. So that's my
And it was
takeout.
also, I read another article from secular press, but I like the fact that they did this study about women, about spirituality. I'm actually seeing a lot of studies being done about spirituality and how it plays a very key role in leadership, because it serves to balance the person. I keep feeling like it's an anchor. So it could be spirituality, it could be Christian, it could be Hindu, it could be Muslim, it could be whatever it is that you aspire to as God and spiritual to you.
Yeah.
But I feel like it gives you an anchor, and it gives you a center. There's a centering around spirituality. For us, it's Christians. We're Christians and we believe in God, and our centering comes from God. And that's very important. So I like that there's an element of faith for us, but we have everybody. I mean, I've had every single religion possible at Jacob's Well. I love Dr. Choksi when she got an award, and she's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And she's Hindu.
Yeah.
I remember even last time, I think Sheila came with one guest who's Muslim.
Yeah.
And actually I was sat there was a Hindu on one side, there was a Muslim on the other side, and here we are, and we can have conversations around issues affecting women, and how maybe our religion plays that role. So I think that's very, very important as well. And at some point, the spiritual is anchoring, but then we're all women.
Yes.
And then we're all facing the same challenges. We're having children, we're getting married, we want a career, we're trying to balance having a master's education or getting further in our education.
Yeah.
So there's so many balls, I like so many balls in the air, and we have to keep all these balls moving, and we can't drop any of them. And I remember something, I was thinking of a story when somebody said that's another conference we must have gone to, that we can drop the rubber balls, but we can't drop the balls that will break and can't recover.
Yes.
That was very powerful.
Yeah.
So out of these balls, then you have to decide which are the rubber balls,
Yeah.
which are the glass balls that cannot be dropped under no circumstance. And I think one of them was our children.
Yeah.
Because we also have to make that choice. And unfortunately, it's the women who have to make that choice.
Yeah. We're the wells.
We're the wells.
Yeah.
And when the well dries up, the people move away. I'm never going to forget that.
Yeah.
We're the wells.
Yeah.
And we're the givers of life. And like you said, we set the energy for our homes and for our children, who then go and join the marketplace. It's like a cycle. It's a big cycle. They also have to go out there and work, and join the same marketplace. So did we make it a better place? That's always, did we make it a better place? Do we give more opportunities so that the women who come after us don't have to face all the challenges that we have? And I think that's what this family talk event is going to be, because they're women from different first, they're different ages, and I think they're at different stages of their career. We have one lady, the one from Tanzania, who left one successful business to start another one. I'll let her share her story. And then there's, of course, Kaki, who's done just amazing work in the marketplace. She's such an amazing leader.
Yeah.
And she's always the moderator, but we have made a demand now. She must sit and tell us.
Flip the
has
script.
to flip it, sit here and tell us all about it.
Yes.
The lady from Tanzania is Lillian McCoy, so
Yeah.
she'll give us her story, and her businesses have won awards, but the choice to put one down and pick up another. She has small children, very newly married, very young, so that will be interesting to hear. And then, of course, Janita for her story about Unilever and obedience and her spirituality there, and our keynote speaker, Brenda Mbathi. So I'm really looking forward to hear what all these amazing women have to say.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any closing remarks?
I really liked what you said about spirits and how we have to bring our whole selves into life. And our whole selves is like our bodies, our souls, our spirits. But at the end of the day, I love how you brought in like different people who are going through different spiritual journeys, because at the end of the day, we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, and that's it. So there are so many parts of where we interlink and correlate all of those, because we're all having the same experiences as spiritual beings. Yeah.
And that's amazing, because that's what we bring in, at least in this space now, we bring in the social, the financial, the professional, the leadership, the different geographical locations, because it's not, we're spiritual beings having an experience, but expressed through 8 aspects. There's 8 expressions of this spiritual being. So that's powerful.
Yeah, and we have to learn how to tap into all of them to be whole selves. Yeah, and bring our whole selves into everything, our families, our homes, our workplaces, our relationships. Yeah.
And I always say that the person who, you see, the family is important as well, because the person who's coming into the marketplace has come from a family.
Yeah.
Whatever family setup is, whether it's a single setup home, whether they live alone, whether they live with other people, you've come from a space of family, then you're coming into the marketplace, which is even another family, because you spend so much time with them. So yeah, each system is feeding into another. Then in that family, you're creating another family. So in the marketplace, you're also creating another generation.
Yeah.
You're role modeling to others. Back at home in your family, you're also creating another generation. So it's just this cycle, but it's important to see the balance of them all. And I think I'm excited that they are from East Africa as well, because then we can see, are we facing the same problems, which I'm sure we are, but it's an East African conversation as well, which is very, very powerful, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Me too.
Awesome. So see you on the 14th of March at the Nairobi Serena. It's a prepaid event, so you pay for your tickets in advance.
I've paid for mine.
Hey, good. Yeah, I saw people were really excited and coming in and paying, and I was like, wow, this event is really going to fill up fast. And like we do, you know how we roll. When we get to full house, that's when everyone starts calling and clamoring. When it's full house, because there's an experience we want you to have. So every time we don't prepare for you, or we are not ready for you, or we overstretch, then we water down the experience. So we're not going to do that. So the tickets will stop at a certain point. So get yours today. As good women, get one for your friend, your neighbor, your frenemy, your daughters, aunties, everybody you can. And this event is also open to men. And I'm always amazed at the brave men that come, and you should come, because it's also good to get inside the women's heads and see what they're thinking, and what their thoughts are, what their challenges are, because they'll also be part of your team. So it's a very...
Yeah, and gender parity can't be achieved by one.
By one gender.
Yeah, it has to be both. Yeah.
I like that. So we'll see you in March. All the contacts are there. Get your ticket in early, and looking forward to conversation around women leading teams. God bless you, and happy Sunday.